So I thought I'd make a quick video explaining why all of this is important. When I was in college, I was fortunate enough to have as a professor a man named Dr. David Straight. And he and a number of other professors at the university that the University of Tennessee was very lucky to have, knew that in order for someone to be a successful software engineer, they had to develop the ability to think purely logically, because code only does exactly what you say it does. A compiler or a computer is just a machine, and it only thinks, it doesn't really think with any, like a human being thinks, it only performs logical iterations, which is something that we don't do. And the brain, our human brain, is not designed that way, which I've explained in another video. And most people, at least half the people in the class, washed out in the first software engineering class they would have, the introduction to software engineering, because they couldn't do it. It wasn't the typical class where you go to school and you attend a lecture, you take notes, and you just regurgitate what you've just learned. It required a rethinking of the way, or rather a remapping of the way the brain works, a reorganization of how you process information. And I would tell my cousin at that time that we don't think logically, naturally. It takes a lot of work. We are drawn to the trick of believing what makes us feel good and then finding facts that support that belief that we've chosen to believe. It's called presupposition, and it's not good. But it can make you feel good, and so there's a kind of reward for thinking this way. But here's why all this is important. In the real world that we live in today, it is becoming more increasingly urgent that people start thinking logically, that they are not presented with this proverbial opiate of way of thinking, because it is damaging, and it is especially damaging to children. Children naturally accept as truth whatever their authority figures tell them is true. And this is why this kind of hokum needs to be fought, because it'll get in the hands of children who will accept it as truth. Now, a lie has a very particular characteristic that the truth doesn't have. A lie is information that will lead eventually to a dead end. It'll lead to a place where someone cannot further themselves. The truth is exactly the opposite of that. The truth will open up doorways and lead to more and more opportunities, especially for young people. If we teach young people the truth, if you teach young people the truth, you're giving them a great gift. If you teach young people a lie, you're in a sense harming them, but you're harming them on an extremely deep level. You are limiting their capacity to have a meaningful and purposeful life. You're limiting their capacity to earn an income. And you are hurting the economy of this country as a result.